Grage, and welcome to 2022 and to a new season of Dawn. I believe that in this season we're going to learn together. We're going to grow together. I believe your lives are going to be so imparted, and as you join forces with me, I strongly am convicted that we're also going to impart so many lives. As we stand at the dawn of this new year, I think it's important for us to begin with putting on the table our growth strategy. Do you have one? Do you have a growth strategy? The quality of your life is dependent on the quality of your mind. You and I know that a good government could make it easier, a bad government could make it harder, but none of that determines the outcome of your life. What wholesomely determines the outcome of your life is the quality of your mind. Where you started from, high or low, could make it easier or harder, but it doesn't determine the outcome. The outcome is determined by the quality of your mind, and the quality of your mind is directly proportional to your growth strategy. So, again, I ask you, do you have a growth strategy? We'll examine that when we return. Welcome again to Dawn with Tim Grage. Welcome again to Dawn. Beginning of the year, if you're like most people, myself inclusive, you have set in place your goals, your outcomes, and your targets. Research has shown that people who do write down their goals, who do set their targets, who do put in place expectations, are more likely to accomplish it than those who do not. So if you've done so, you are in good company. If you've not done so, you can do so now. Now, of course, you also know that it is not because you've written it down that you are going to achieve it. You are going to achieve it because in as much as you have put the goal in place, you've also put in place the strategy to get there. Remember what Paul said to Timothy? He said, the prophecies have gone before you. Now wage a good warfare. Many people think that Paul was just saying, pray about it. No, the Greek words for good warfare is kalustrateia, which means good strategy. Prayer could be a strategy, but in essence it was saying, now that you know, because a prophetic word is an indication of what God has set in place for you, the goal that you are going and you should achieve. And so Paul said to him, put a good strategy. So I'm sure you've also put a good strategy in place. Now this is the concern. The goal that you've put in place is a description of a better endpoint that you want to achieve, an endpoint different from where you are. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's a better endpoint, a better experience from that which you are currently experiencing, from where you currently are at. It also follows that the strategy you would have put in place will be an appropriate strategy to take you there, meaning this strategy is appropriate enough, good enough, at least from your estimation, to take you to that better place that you want to end up. Now, this is where the problem begins. It's a better destination, a better strategy to get you there, but for most of us, it's still the same us. The reason why many of us put strategies together, have goals and endpoints in place, and then we start on them, fall by the wayside, and are unable to consistently adhere and follow through, is not necessarily always because the strategy was faulty or the goals were too lofty. Very often it's because the old us was attempting to utilize new tools to achieve a new destination. What many of us fail to do is, alongside that good strategy that will take you to that good endpoint, you also need to ensure that the individual vis-a-vis you and I that are going to be implementing that strategy are also becoming better. That strategy you put in place, it is actually a better version of yourself that actually is able to use that strategy to get there. This is the reason why, for many of us, some of what you have put on the table that you want to accomplish this year, you wanted to accomplish it last year, or maybe 2 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. You had a strategy in place, but you just didn't follow through. Why? Because if there is no simultaneous process in place to grow you as you are trying to implement your strategy to take you to your destination, then there will be a struggle to follow through on that strategy. I hope I'm making sense. Jesus calls it new wine in new wineskin. That new destination is a new wineskin. That process to get there is new wine. If it's old you trying to enter into a new wineskin, it won't fit. So when we talk about your growth strategy, I'm not talking about what you've put in place to grow your business. That's the first kind of strategy I hope you've put in place. I'm not talking about what you've put in place to lose weight, where you've now said, I will go to the gym 5 days. I'm not talking about the strategy you've put in place where you're saying, I'm going to pray more, or I'm going to serve more. And you've itemized how every day at this time to this time, I'm going to be praying. I'm going to commit to that church. That's great. Those are great strategies. But the person that will accomplish them, that will stick to them, that will fulfill them, is a better version of yourself. So when you set the strategy to achieve that goal, you also need to have in tandem, running concurrently, a strategy to grow yourself to the version of yourself that can follow through on that strategy. Did you get that? So when I say your growth strategy, I'm talking about the strategy to grow you, your personal evolution strategy, so that you are the version of yourself that will follow through on that strategy. So, what is your personal growth strategy? My immediate recommendation will be that you need to have a growth strategy for your spiritual walk with God. Meaning your prayer life, your word life, your giving life, your service in the kingdom, your growth strategy for your spiritual walk is the foundation of everything, because that's the place where your mind embraces its true nature, which is the mind of Christ, and operates from that dimension. It is the foundation. You need to have a personal growth strategy concerning your career. So I'm not talking about a growth strategy to grow yourself, to grow your career. No. See, what's the difference? The difference is this. I want to grow in my career. So I want to be promoted in my career. My growth strategy for that could be, I'm going to take another course. I'm going to do that program. I'm going to go back to school this year. That is your growth strategy to grow your career. Now, what is your growth strategy to grow you so that when you take that course, you don't give up? What is your growth strategy to do that? What you then do is ask yourself, okay, if I want to go back to school, I'm just giving you that example. I'm going to go back to school. I need to register. I need to study, do my assignment, submit, so that I can get that degree. I can get that PGD, that diploma, that certificate, which will help me grow my career. What kind of person follows through on something like this? Off the top of my head, a person who is better skilled in time management, a person who is better organized to organize their life so that they're able to compartmentalize, so that there is provision, and not just financially, but also time-wise to achieve that. The person is committed to study. It has a nature that is committed to study so that they pass and they follow through. And you ask yourself, am I that person right now? If the answer is no, that then informs your personal growth strategy to ensure that as you are preparing to do this, study, get your degree, you are evolving into the person that will do so. So for example, you might decide that means I need to be the kind of individual that is committed and follows through. What should be your plan then to grow yourself into that person? That's what you need to answer. For all the things that I'm mentioning now, the solution is generally found in two sources. Generally, there could be others, but in two sources. Actually in one source, in getting the right, in associating and learning from the right people, meaning the right individuals can coach you into being the person that you need to be to follow through on the strategy to achieve the growth in that area of your life. Now, all the people that we need that can help us are not readily available, but a version of them is likely available to all of us. Books. A personal growth strategy, a personal evolution strategy that does not include daily reading of a variety of materials, and I'll get to that now, is incomplete. Actually, it's not going anywhere. There is no success, there is no personal growth without the renewing of the mind. The quality of your life is tied to the quality of your mind. So the Bible says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Meaning, it won't matter if you are in an environment where the government is terrible. A terrible government might make things a bit harder, but it cannot determine whether your life will be one of quality or not. The quality of your mind is what determines that. Yes, finances, there might be a lack of finances, but please understand this. A lack of finances might make the quality of your life, achieving the kind of quality of life that you want, a bit harder, but it actually cannot stop it. Why? Because what directly impacts the quality of your life is the quality of your mind. It is the quality of your mind, full stop. If you can get your mind right, you will get your life right, period. Doesn't matter whether you're experiencing sickness in your body, you're experiencing financial hardship, you're experiencing a bad habit, you're unable to pray, you're unable to fast. All of that has everything to do with the quality of your mind. If we renew your mind, you will renew the quality. You already know that. And reading the right material is a primary way of renewing your mind or upgrading the quality of your mind. So back to our illustration. Let's say what you now need to do is learn how to manage your time. Get a book on time management. And that becomes your personal development to morph you into the person that is able to manage time so that they can finish the degree, oh, hear me, and finish the course and get the degree. Did you get that? Saints, what I'm saying is so ordinary, but so life-changing. Concerning your finances, maybe you're saying this year, I want to give more, I want to save more. You ask yourself, so what is my, I want to save 100,000 this year. That means I'm able to put away X amount every month. What kind of person is able to say no to sales, able to say no to family that just show up and boom, able to say no to manipulations so that they can fulfill that goal? What kind of person is that? You need to ask yourself that. Because if you've not been able to do it before, if you do not do what I'm saying, and you try to do it now, you will struggle. There has to be a part of your growth strategy that is teaching you how to be that person that can do that thing that you are saying. So I'm not saying don't do that. Still embark on doing that. But let there be on running concurrently a growth strategy to help you be the person that can follow through. I teach this to the executives that I work with, and I'm giving it to you. You need to do what I'm saying. You need to do what I'm saying. The Bible, speaking about Jesus, spoke about how he knew his goal. He told us his goal in Luke 4:18. His goal, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, and he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor, blah, blah, blah. He gave us a litany of the things that he was supposed to do. That was the goal. The Bible then explains to us his routine, his personal development routine to ensure that his mind stayed in the place as that person that could achieve that goal. So there is a list of things that we see him doing regularly. It's no coincidence. He did those things regularly. And what did they do for him? They kept him as the person that could achieve that goal. That's what you're supposed to do. I close with this thought. Because if you've not done what I'm saying, you need to do it. If you need clarity, reach out to me. And maybe if I get enough info from you, maybe I will revisit this and explain it further. In my case, for example, there are certain areas of my life that I want to see changes. So, there are two broad things I've done. One is a collection of books. The second is certain individuals that I've chosen to connect with. Start with the first one. There was an area of my life where I realized that I could do better in. So I have a spiritual book that I got. I just finished reading it, so I'm embarking on another one shortly. And that book deals with that issue from somebody who is more prolific in that area than I am. I'm good there, but this person's prolific. So every day, I committed myself, I'll read a chapter. It takes me all of 10 minutes to read a chapter of any book. I've not seen any book that is so big so far that I've not been able to read a chapter in 15 minutes or less, actually less, but let's say 15 minutes. Let's put it like that. So I read a chapter every day. Concerning my career, my business, I realized that there are certain areas that I needed to improve on to be able to deliver greater depth of quality to my people. I know where I want to be at the end of the year in my career, where it should be, who it should be working with, the kind of income it should be bringing. So who is the person that can pull that off? I realized that there were aspects of my life that needed to change so that I can follow through on that. I got another book. It's a secular book because I operate in a secular space as well. Every day, I read a chapter. Sometimes I get so carried away in any of the books and I read more than one, but a minimum of a chapter. I just read a chapter. I don't put myself under undue pressure. I read a chapter. Just a chapter. Concerning my marriage, I have a growth strategy there. I realized that there's a problem. Not that there's a problem in my marriage, but after you've been married for a while, if you're not careful, it becomes stale. So I've gotten a resource. This one is not a book, it's a material online. It's a website. I go there every day. I kid you not, every day. And I read an article that just says to me, this is what you could consider. This is what you may have forgotten. Just to ensure I remain abreast with keeping to my commitment to be a great spouse to my wife. There are 4 different areas like that. Oh, I have the one that is purely for pleasure. I read that one as the last book at night. Purely for pleasure. My kids got that one for me as a Christmas gift. Yeah, as a Christmas gift. So I only just started it this year. I'm enjoying it. I read at least a chapter every day. Just before I go to bed, I read that chapter. That one helps me de-stress. It's fiction. There is no sense in it. At least nothing I can consciously do with it in this life, but it just eases my mind. I do that. All of this is besides my daily reading of the word. It sounds like a lot. Everything I've just said to you can be done. All of what I've just said to you can be done within a space of 30 minutes, within a space of 45 minutes. You can find that. Your life needs that. If you do not, I said, so the first part is reading. The second part is a relationship that I have decided to forge. And I'm pushing, I'm forging that relationship. I'm building that relationship. Why? Because I need somebody who has gotten to a particular unique place I want to get to. Not necessarily to mentor me. They might not even know how to mentor. But I need to relate with them. Because iron sharpens iron. I close by reminding you. The goal you want to achieve will be achieved by a version of yourself. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you are becoming. Who you are becoming, that's the key. Because if it's all about what you do, you will struggle to sustain. And even if you sustain and you achieve it, right? You will feel like an imposter, even when you get there. Because it never became you. You need to become the person that achieves those things. Trust your pastor. Trust this coach. I know what I am saying. If I've confused you, I do apologize. This was a strong word for our first day back, but an important word. Go back and ask yourself, do I have a personal growth strategy? If the answer is yes, congratulations. If the answer is no, congratulations. Now you know what to do. This brings us to the end of Dawn, but quick announcements. You've been seeing the announcements flow. Don't forget, order your books, the Dawn Devotions and the 12 Laws. The link is on your screen now. It will bless you immensely. You've got to do that. If you are married as well, join us for a couples Valentine boat cruise. It's a boat cruise. It will put fire in your relationship. And if your relationship is already on fire, let's turn it up to a volcano. Let's make it explode. The details are also on your screen. It has been a great pleasure being with you again. I'll catch you tomorrow on Dawn. Bye for now.